Regular Guys Podcast. We starting off this year real good. Regular season. We had two games. One was Thursday and the other one was Friday. I'm gonna get into this, but for those of y'all who are Commanders fans, this is for y'all. And on that note, we're gonna talk about the first game on Sunday, which is the Giants and the Commanders. Giants playing the Commanders here. Giants do have a formidable defense. I think their front four is going to get after Jaden and is going to, try to disrupt what they can, um, or try to disrupt whatever it is that they are game planning to do. He's one of the guys that it's hard to game plan against, because of the way that he is in the pocket, with his legs and everything else, that Jaden can do. And I think with Debo, this is going to basically open up more of the offense. Austin Eckler, Bill, McCroskey Merritt, Zach Ertz is going to be the keys of that offense. But I think the defense part of it is my thing that I really want to see, because you brought in Von Miller to basically negligate something that you to basically help with something that you really don't have, and that is a pass rush. And so I think the blueprint to success and the blueprint to what Washington wants to do, which is not just beat the Giants, but start off 1-0, let a lot where a lot of the naysayers, are saying that, hey, they're they're not going to do this, they're not going to make it. They got a losing record. They're going to have a losing record. All of that to shut everybody up. They got to come out the box very, very strong, and they got to put on a strong performance. Um, Unlike the performances that we seen Thursday night and Friday. I'm gonna get into the first game, the Thursday night game, the Eagles and the Cowboys, which was, to me, a game that I really thought, really thought that Philly was going to just take that game and run with that game. And given the fact that Philly didn't take that game and do what I thought that they was going to do as Super Bowl champions, the day that you're getting y'all rings, the day that y'all are doing y'all thing, the day that y'all are supposed to be out there, you know, celebrating the win. And then not only that, but you're playing a divisional opponent and you didn't do what I thought that you was going to do, you know, it makes me wonder. I know right after that they went out and signed Zadarius Smith. They brought him in to help with the pass rush. And then some people going to say, well, they didn't have Carter. True, but Carter can help the pass rush a little, but Carter is not the one that is out in that secondary, which that secondary looked like some hot garbage. It was That was probably one of the worst secondary I've seen Philly put on a field in years. You know, when you got guys, when you're capable of, you know, last year they led the league in taking the ball away. Last year they was just their defense was just humming last year. And it makes you wonder and like, okay, your defense was humming last year. Why ain't it? What happened? What what made what made that defense not the same defense or the same secondary? Because to be honest with you, when they let C.J. Gardner go, they let Darius Slay go, they let their other safety go to Detroit. Unless you was going to get improvement, I didn't see it. Yeah, they did get some help with Gerard Campbell, but it just depends on how they use Gerard Campbell. Because if they don't use Gerard Campbell right, then Philly is going to be a long, long, long season for Philly. If Philly don't, you know, use Gerard Campbell like Gerard Campbell is supposed to be used. But I think more and more it's on the Phillies secondary that is going to have to stop the like of Terry McLaurin, Debo Samuels. You got the two in Philly. I mean the two in Dallas. CD Lamb, Pickens. You got Malik Neighbors. You got Darius Slayton. You got teams that you're playing, especially if you look on their schedule coming up, where hell, you got Green Bay, you got Chicago, you got Kansas City, you got Denver, you got the Chargers who won last night, who started out impressive. You got the Raiders. You got that running game of the Raiders. You got Genty. You got Amari Hamilton with the Chargers. It's just Philly needs if Philly wants to get back and win their third one, they have to tighten up. But as my buddy that's normally on here with me, Will, shout out to my man Will, who's probably listening. Um, it comes to a thing where I'm like this. I'm gonna give you week 2, maybe even week 3. You should have it figured out by then. You have a whole what they call inside the NFL. You got a whole 4 quarters. So your first 4 games is quarter one. I'm gonna give you 3 games out of that quarter. I'm gonna give you your first 3 games just to see where you are. Because that third quarter, close to that third game, close to that fourth game, will tell everybody where y'all want to be at. Because then you got 3 more quarters of football to go. But I think you're to me, Philly, I'm gonna give y'all at least 2 more games. Dallas, I'm gonna give y'all 3. And the reason why I'm gonna give y'all 3 is because of the fact I can't say Dak came out, Dak was throwing the ball, Dak did his thing, and everything. And I like certain parts of the offense, then certain parts it was like typical Dak trying to, you know, take over the game and win it. But the thing is, and I think Dallas' biggest implosion is going to be on offense, and it's going to be with Pickens. Pickens had an attitude when he wasn't getting the ball. So something like that, I I see that failing for Dallas. I see Dallas probably finishing third or fourth in the division. Like I say, the Giants, if the Giants get it right, if the Giants start off 0-3, I will bench Russell Wilson and put Jackson Dart out there. They put Jackson Dart out there, they may have a way better chance because I think with Jackson Dart, you're going to see what you've been missing. You're going to see what you ain't getting Daniel Jones, and you're going to see what you're not getting in Russell or anybody else. So that right there is going to be something that is definitely is going to be worth watching. With us, we got Sunday. Then we turn around and we play 4 days later, Thursday, in Green Bay. To me, I felt we should have opened the season against Philly since Baltimore is opening against Buffalo, and I'm gonna get into that game and a few too. But I think, to me, that the Philly Dallas game should have been further down the line. They should have let us open with Philly. And I think if they would have let us open with Philly, Philly would have got built the ass because the way that they played starting out is going to be totally different than the way that they're going to play in week 15 and in week 17. Okay. So I know we're going to hear all this. Oh, this person was hurt. That person was hurt. They're NFL players. So y'all, the league set y'all up. So don't blame us, blame the league. That's how I look at it. Um, I look at it at I look at, you know, the last night game, Kansas City against the Chargers. I think Kansas City time is done. To me, Kansas City is doing what Baltimore is doing the same, which is you're not putting the right pieces around your quarterback for him to be successful. Yeah, Rice is out for 6 games, and then Worthy went out. So with Rice and Worthy out, you try to go to Juju Smith-Schuster and Hollywood Brown, which they didn't step up in neither incidents, and you wind up losing 27-21. Um, and the thing is, everybody knows 9 times out of 10 when the game's on the line, everything's going to go to Travis Kelce. You can double team Kelce. The Gray, I'm not that high on as a tight end, so I expected the unexpected. But the Chargers did play one heck of a game. They jumped out to an early lead and they stayed on top. And that was the thing. You gotta make Kansas City, especially with them not having their go-to receiver. If you catch Kansas City within these first 6 games, you're good. If you catch Kansas City when they are back and they're full strength, it's going to be a long season for anybody because now you're letting Patrick Mahomes do his thing. And that's, to me, it's something that I'm like, hey, nah, I don't want to see that. Just like a lot of people don't want to see Jaden do his thing, you know. But as they say, stuff happens. It's the league. It's the start of the week. Both teams, all 4 teams, Philly, Dallas, Kansas City, and the Chargers can sit back and watch it and watch for the next 10 days. And with Dallas, you're looking at, I'm going back to them. I'm going to their defense. Their defense sorely missed Michael Parsons. Their defense is going to get ran on. Their defense, if they don't get, they brought in Clark, but you can run away from Clark. If you run away from Clark, it's over. You missed out Michael Parsons. You missed out Michael Parsons coming off the end. You missed out Michael Parsons playing linebacker. You missed that presence of Michael Parsons because not only do you miss a guy that is a generational talent, but you're missing that speed. You're missing that sideline to sideline speed. And that sideline to sideline speed is what makes a difference in this league. And if you don't have that sideline speed, you don't have nothing. And I think that's what we had to address, especially we know playing Philly, you guys to have that you got to show that sideline speed up. And I think that's what we did. That is something that we worked on and something that we expected to do. And with Adam Peters showed, yeah, I'm gonna make my quarterback successful. I'm gonna make Jaden successful. I'm gonna make Jaden, that guy. But also, he put this team on his back last year with mediocre talent at receiver, and took us to the NFC Championship game. Now you got Debo. Now you got Terry. Now you got Noah back. Now you got the boy Lane, which is oh my gosh, he's going to be the X factor in a lot of our games. You got McCaffrey. We can get Luke McCaffrey up the plane like Luke McCaffrey can play. It's going to be a dangerous crew. The other side of the ball with us, my main concern and the person that I want to see is Marshawn Lattimore. I want to see what Lattimore is going to do. I think Lattimore can get back to Lattimore, which was that shutdown corner, that guy that no, you're not throwing on his side, and that's what I want because if you don't throw on his side and you throw towards Mikey Sanders still, he's going to pick you off in the slot. Then Trey Amos, he's going to pick you off. So I want Lattimore to get back to where they're staying away from him and going to the other side, so that way Dan Quinn can say, "This is how we ran it in Dallas. This is we brought it here. This is what I've been looking for," and I think that's going to take us over the top. We got a slew of games Saturday, Sunday, and I'm just gonna run them down to y'all and probably talk about each and every one of them. We got Miami against the Colts. That to me is going to be. I'm gonna get that to the Colts. I think, and because of the fact that Daniel Jones is in a good situation. He has Shane Steichen. I think Shane Steichen is going to bring the best out of him. Some quarterbacks needs to go to a system that fits them, and I think that system fits them. I think him in New York with Brian Daboll was trying to make him too much of a Josh Allen, and that's not working. So, so to me, he's in a perfect location, and I'm giving a nod on that one to the coach. So I'm talking about him, and I'm picking each and every team as I go, or what team I think is going to win. I got that Miami game being, I'm gonna say 27-7. The Colts, you know, I I really think they're going to beat them like that. Jacksonville and Carolina. Most people say this is a toss-up game. I don't think so, and the reason why I don't think so is Carolina. Bryce Young has improved. I think they went out, drafted well, brought in help. They got De'Ami Brown there. They got the help that he needs at wide receiver, the running game. They tighten up the line. They also got the defensive side of the ball working. So I'm going to give Carolina a 21-10 win there. Then you got New England and Las Vegas. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be an interesting game. But my thing is this, and I got to get a nod to this, and I think my brother-in-law, Carlos, is going to be happy about this. I'm giving a nod on that one to the Raiders, and the reason why is not just because of the coach, who their coach is. I'm giving a nod to the Raiders because of the fact Gentry. Gentry is going to be a hell of a running back in this league. Gentry is going to take this thing to the next level. Having Gentry with Geno Smith is what they needed. That defense, Pete Carroll is going to have that defense humming like he always does. Everywhere he goes, he has his defense humming. So that's going. So both of them, I like both of them. I expect to be good, and I got the Raiders winning that game 24-20. I'm gonna give that to the Raiders. New Orleans and Arizona. Mm. Spencer Rattler starting for New Orleans. You got Keller Murray, but I think Rich Ganning is going to get that win against New Orleans. You got you New Orleans got a new coaching staff. They got a new quarterback. And yeah, they still got Alvin Kamara there. Yeah, they still got Chris Olave there, but it's just going to be they're not going to be strong enough or experienced enough to handle what Arizona is going to bring. So I'm going to give Arizona the nod on that. I'm going to give them 27-17. Pittsburgh and the Jets. I really want to give Justin Fields the win, but that's not going to happen. I think Pittsburgh is going to come out, especially with DK Metcalf. They're not only going to run the ball, but they're going to air the ball out. You have Aaron Rodgers quarterbacking and stuff. I think Justin Fields is going to be good, but not against Pittsburgh. I'm giving a nod on that one. Pittsburgh normally plays all their games normally low scoring games, so I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna say 21-20. 21. I'm going to say 23-20. 23-20 is going to be a field goal game. Washington and the Giants, we already talked about that. I'm going to go ahead and just give my score. I'm going to say it's going to be, I'm going to say 27-17 Washington. Um, I don't think they're going to be, I don't think the Giants is going to be able to handle what's coming their way from Jaden. Jaden's going to come in prepared. He's the most prepared quarterback in the league. And I think when he's going to come in and Terry, that running game, Austin Eckler, Debo, everybody. Like I said, I'm going to say 27-17. It may be 34-17. It may be 34-0. It may be 34-3. But I'm going to go and say 27-17. Denver and Tennessee, you got so this one is you got Bo Nix against Cam Ward. Cam Ward has that poise. Cam Ward has that mentality. He has the IQ to become a great quarterback in this league. He can make all the throws. He can make the reads. He has that. He reminds me of Jaden with his poise, his confidence, his everything. And I think with that says a lot about, you know, Cam Ward. So with that, I am going to go again. I think, it's going to be handled. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be Denver's defense is going to manhandle Tennessee. And I think Bo Nix is going to come out and say, hey, yeah, Jaden got Jaden got rookie of the year, but I think I should have got it too. So, I think that is going to be something we're gonna that is going to be very interesting, that is going to be looked at, that is going to be, you know, probably one of the most watched games out there. I really do think that. And I'm going to give Denver the nod. I'm going to give Denver the nod, and I'm going to say Denver is going to win that game, and I'm going to say Denver's going to win that game 34-10. Um, it's going to be a long day for Cam Ward. I think Bo Nix is going to get his man. I think Bo Nix is going to probably put up 3 touchdowns. So it's that is going to be a game that's going to be watched. Seattle and San Fran. I think that game right there is going to be a good game, especially with the fact you got Ricky Pearsall and Jennings. You got Brandon Ayuk. You got major players in that game, but I think with Brandon Ayuk out, I want to see what Brock Purdy can do. Can Brock Purdy finally step up in year 3? You're 2 years removed from the Super Bowl. What can you do now? And that's the thing that I think I'm looking at, and that's something that I'm gonna see, or I'm gonna see what the difference is in that game. I think Brock Purdy can do it. I think they can pull it out. But then you got Mike McDonald, who was in Baltimore as their defensive coordinator, and he's going to be the difference maker for them. So I'm gonna give San Fran the nod on that game, but I'm gonna say 24-21 San Francisco. The 425 game, as Fox calls it, the game of the week. Detroit against Green Bay. This is going to be a good game. This is going to tell everybody where Detroit is, and this is going to tell everybody where Green Bay is. Okay. I think with Detroit, it's going to be, can we duplicate what we did last year? Can we duplicate the run that we was on last year against Green Bay? Green Bay, You got Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is going to come out and do his thing. I think Jordan Love is going to come out and handle his business and, you know, carry this offense. But I think on the other side of the ball, the defense is where it's going to come in at. And I think the defense is who is going to make the difference. Michael Parsons on Green Bay is going to make a difference for Green Bay. And I'm going to give Green Bay the nod on that game. And I'm going to say Green Bay is going to win that game. Green Bay is going to win that game 27-24. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be a must-see TV game. Next game after that, the other 425 game, you got Houston and the Rams. Sean McVay against that Houston team. I think McVay is going to coach a good game, but Matthew Stafford is going to come out and play hard. And that defense, Jared Verse and all of them, they're just going to give it to Houston. And I think Houston ain't going to be able to withstand the onslaught that they're going to get. And so I'm going to give that one to the Rams. I'm going to say 31-24 Rams. Rams is going to win that game. Baltimore against Buffalo. This is a good one. Josh Allen against Lamar Jackson. But the thing on this one is, I think the pressure now is on Baltimore. Okay, and the reason why I say that is Lamar Jackson's been there for 8-9 years. He hasn't even been to the Super Bowl on the losing side, let alone the winning side. So to me, right now, they're considered the doormat of the NFC, of the AFC, where they get to that championship game, but then the next team wipe their feet on them and say, thank you, I'm going through the door. Baltimore now this year has to say, stop. We're going through the door. Because Lamar's 9th year, Lamar should have been to the championship. He should have been to the Super Bowl. He should have had more Super Bowls than probably Patrick Mahomes or whoever else is out there. The receiving core that he has, and I tell Will this all the time, the receiving core is obsolete. Okay. Yeah, Zay Flowers is good, but they have to put Zay Flowers in his original spot, which is at that slot. You have to be able to run a great route tree. Can Zay Flowers run a great route tree? We don't know. Bateman is now coming on, but Bateman is coming on late. So now you got to look at the Bateman situation. Can Bateman? I think D-Hop could be a mentor, but I don't think D-Hop can be that mentor. I don't think D-Hop can say, hey, this is how you run this precise route. This is how you attack the ball here. This is how you attack the ball there. This is how you beat this man to this point. This is how you beat this man to that point. This is how you escape the coverage. This is how you come off with the double moves. And it's a lot. And I don't think that, D-Hop can do that. I don't think D-Hop can be that mentor for Baltimore. And I think Baltimore should have, instead of drafting on the defensive side of the ball, which Baltimore defense always been number one. Their defense been lights out every year since 2000. So you're looking at 25 years of a strong defense, okay? Every year. I think they should have invested more on the offensive side of the ball and got some receivers. I think the Derrick Henry thing, they really didn't need Derrick Henry. They have good running backs. Derrick Henry just came in and to me is just taking up a roster spot where he could have went, somewhere else like Dallas or somewhere else to help a team that really needs to be helped in the running game. Baltimore don't need to be helped in the running game. So with that being said, I think, to me, it's a thing of where Baltimore could have or should have drafted a wide receiver or went and got one or went and traded for one and they didn't. And so to me, I don't know. Then you got Buffalo. You got Josh Allen who said, hey, I can win without wide receivers. You can, but it's hard. But then if you look at what Jaden did, if you look at what a lot of these other quarterbacks has done with average to below average quarterbacks, I think yes, that can happen. But I also think that with that going on, it's going to be something, huge. But I'm going to give the nod to this one to Baltimore. Well, I think Baltimore may win this game 24-21. And it just depends on, the life on how Allen plays and how Lamar and them play. And like I said, I'm going to say 24-21 Baltimore. The Monday night game, the Chicago game against Minnesota, that's going to be a good game. I like to see what J.J. McCarthy going to do. I like to see, not just what J.J. McCarthy is going to do, but I also like to see what Ben Johnson is going to do with Caleb Williams. I still think, Chicago, Ron Poles, thank you. That's all I want to say, Ron Poles. Thank you. Thank you for messing up. Thank you for not drafting Jaden and thinking Jaden wasn't that guy. You was totally wrong. You was totally wrong. Jaden is that guy, and Jaden will be that guy. So, to me, Justin Jefferson, Addison, Minnesota's running game, I'm going to get a nod to J.J. McCarthy. And the reason why is that J.J. McCarthy has played more collegiate ball than Caleb. But everybody's going to say, well, Caleb started last year. Yeah, he started, but he started under a different regime and a different offense. So this is an offense that we're hope caters to him. Okay? We hope this offense can help him win games because he's definitely ain't going to win games not listening or not doing the VR. Heck, Jaden's on a VR and the game has slowed down for him. And I think with Caleb Williams, the game is still running away from him. So to me, I'm going to get a nod to Minnesota and I'm going to give it Minnesota 23-20. So my picks for Sunday is the Indianapolis Colts, the Carolina Panthers, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Arizona Cardinals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Washington Commanders, the Denver Broncos, the San Francisco 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, the LA Rams, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Minnesota Vikings. So, y'all, I want y'all to sit back and I want y'all to enjoy Sunday football. But I also want y'all to be here next week after the games because I'm going to do my picks for next week. And I'm also is going to, go ham on a lot of these teams that we're going to see Sunday. I took it easy on Philly. I took it easy on Dallas. I took it easy on Kansas City. I didn't have to take it easy on the Chargers because the Chargers came out and did what they're supposed to do. Okay? I just want to see more. And I think everybody else wants to see more. And that's the thing. We just want to see more. But I will see my Washington Commanders put belt to ass tomorrow to the New York Football Giants. All right. So for each and every one of y'all, stay blessed. JD5, let's ride. We gonna ride it out. Enjoy y'all week. Enjoy y'all weekend and enjoy y'all Sunday. I'm out.